Are you afraid?
You didn't really think I would remake an old video just for funsies, right? It's also because I'm desperate, please subscribe. No, it's time to celebrate Spooktober in style. 7 days, 7 videos on different extra spooky games. There will be laughs, there will be scares, but probably it will mostly be bad jump scares and terrible voice acting.
Behind you! There's a...
Sometimes it'll be gameplay and other times short reviews. I don't know, I'm riffing here, okay? So welcome to 7 Days of Fear. Unless you've lived under a rock for the past 10 years, in which case can I please join you? A Quiet Place is a horror movie franchise set in a world where defenseless and scared people are hunted by grotesque monsters, hiding in plain sight, ready to kill should anyone try to speak up. Ah shit, I was supposed to talk about A Quiet Place, not the current state of Hollywood. But you know, this is a concept I dig quite a lot, especially for a video game. When breaking silence can translate into a game over, every step, every breath feels as tense as facing a tyrant in a Resident Evil game. What I don't like is how these stories end up manufacturing stupidity and brain damage in order to kick things off. The first spooky monster attack in A Quiet Place The Road Ahead is triggered by this absolute moron who decides to just push another guy against a glass door during an argument. In a world where man-killing monsters can hear everything everywhere all at once, if this is the intelligence of the average survivor, I fully expect the sequel to feature a bunch of dudes playing piñata with the thermonuclear launch buttons at this point. But come on, their hideout is filled with cracked glass that makes the whole place look more like a jigsaw trap. This is a minor nitpick in the grand scheme of things, especially because it takes a while before you even get to this point. Road Ahead is sneaky. It tried to stop me from even getting there by drowning the game into a cesspool of terribly long, terribly boring cutscenes. I can't adequately explain this without just showing you how long it takes for the game to properly start.
Baba Booey.
49 minutes before we even get to play this fucking thing! I wouldn't even complain if the plot was remotely engaging, but this is the most generic post-apocalyptic slob you can find. There was a girl, there was a boy. The boy got murdered by the pinecone head monster, the girl had to do stuff to keep her unborn baby alive. I swear I heard that one already. It's boring and sappy, yet presented like it's some kind of cinematic experience. And I mean, yeah, it fits the very low standards set by the movie industry, but when it comes to low standards, nothing usually beats tie-in games, so that's no surprise. Shit. She's got more than 11 kids inside? Now, there was a time tie-in games tried to adapt their source material, but Road Ahead is also ahead of the curve and becomes a movie in and of itself. You mindlessly walk through endless series of corridors that feel more scripted than a reality show, jumping from one unnecessary cutscene to the other, and if you screw up, you're automatically dead. Oh yeah, we're back into hide-and-seek territory, except this game somehow managed to make one of the worst trends ever introduced in the genre even worse. It's hide-and-seek if the kid who's it was carrying a bazooka and shot you the instant he saw you. You know how games like Amnesia usually ask you to run if the monster spots you? Road Ahead gives you the illusion you can run, but really, the instant you make too much noise, you're dead. No matter how far the monsters are, no matter if you hide, no matter if you create a distraction, you're 100% done every single time. And you'll know they found you because the game bombards you with the same 3 sound cues that incessantly play out, and they're so redundant the whole thing genuinely borders on parody. Jesus Christ, not even a sumo fighter hears so many gongs in a lifetime! At least it's understandable if you're getting caught by the monsters, but half the time your opponents are sound effects.
Find your footage and get the perfect sound effects all in one place.
There isn't a single moment where you stop hearing the creatures, but sometimes they're not really there, cause the devs couldn't find a way to fit these oversized inflatables in smaller rooms. So, what happens when the game wants to kill you but can't actually send the monster to your position? Remember how I said stupidity is injected into these stories? Well, make too much noise in these areas and your character will simply freeze in place rather than try to run away until a cutscene plays out where they get killed. It would be hilarious if it wasn't frustrating as hell. We live in a post-alien isolation gaming landscape. Coming up with such bullshit should be a federal offense. Poorly placed checkpoints and excruciatingly boring busy work only intensify this feeling, since dying means going back to
slowly walking over the water, slowly carrying a plank, slowly opening a door.
Oh yeah, that slowly. Wow, this is so goddamn intense, guys! Oh crap, I forgot! I gotta keep quiet or the monster will hear me through the mic in real time. Okay, can someone tell me whom this mechanic is made for? Are the developers discriminating players that talk with imaginary friends? Unless you spend your days screaming at your screen while streaming on Twitch, no one is gonna make noise when playing alone in their room, so I hardly see the entertainment value here. Okay, point taken. Ah, and of course the protagonist has asthma, as if we needed to check more boxes in the overly played out cliché list. I'm not even too bothered by the fact you cure your cough with QuickTime events. I'm just curious to know who in the dev team thinks that asthmatic people stop seeing colors when they have a panic attack. I don't know if this game is the result of incompetence, poor management, or just plain desire to make a quick buck. But under a nice coat of paint, this whole experience feels just undercooked and unfinished. A quiet place the road ahead is an utterly despicable, joyless ride. A completely unsalvageable mess whose sole merit is being short enough to be completed and forgotten in the span of a day. It's a miserable pile of content, engineered to be pretty looking enough to appeal to the lowest common denominator, who's readily gonna consume it and move on to the next sloppy product without a second thought. Ah, damn it, there I am again, talking about Hollywood instead of this game.